So since you guys have been liking the tier list videos so much, I decided to do another one, but with the gems. It's gonna be a little bit more tricky because I think each gem is kind of good, but certain gems are better than the other ones in my opinion. And I think for the first one that we'll start off with would be the ones that don't need Box of Riches. So these 5 right here, you need Box of Riches to get, but Lump of Coal and Burning Coal, you don't need Box of Riches. So we'll start off with Lump of Coal. Before this recent update of Lump of Coal being able to be transformed into Burning Coal, before this update, I would have probably put Lump of Coal in F tier, but the devs have been trying their best to sell us on the dream of this thing, this item, this gemstone, the worst gemstone out of them all, being decent. And I think they're doing a pretty good job at it, not gonna lie, right? At the start of the battle, you can gain 6 armor if you place this on armor. And I think usually it's better in the backpack, but if you have a leather armor and you buy 2 of these, that leather armor will give you more armor than the holy armor, and you're resisting a lot of debuffs as well. So it's good. It can be decent early game if you have the right supporting tools around it. And because of that, I think I'll put it's between C or D. You know, it's between C or D. I think I would put it in D for now because I see its value of being at 2 gold only if you could get leather armor. If you don't have leather armor, then it's not so great. But I think if you get leather armor, I think more people should experiment with 2 lumps of coal and leather armor, because you're going to end up resisting a lot of debuffs. I think that's pretty decent. Just that by itself. Next, we have Burning Coal. I'm not entirely sure about its stats, but Burning Coal is basically Lump of Coal, but it's just far better. It's just far better than Lump of Coal, right? If you get 2 Burning Coals, of course, slap that joint on a leather armor. The only tricky part is that you have to figure out a way to ignite it. It's going to be a little tricky because you need a ruby egg or a dragon or another burning torch. But to get a burning torch, you need a ruby egg. Blase blah, right? Basically, you need a ruby egg to get the whole party started. And by the time you get a ruby egg, unless you get real lucky in the early game, you should have been progressing a lot better in your build, like more build. I think the worst spot to put the Burning Coal would be for sure the weapon socket. It could be decent if you're a gambling person and you think the odds are in your favor, go for it, right? But honestly, it's better either in your backpack or on an armor socket, right? The fact that you can get 10 extra armor by putting Burning Coal on something and resist cold, I don't think we're in a cold meta at all, so you might not get the benefit of resisting 3 cold, but 10 armor is 10 armor, man. Like, just slap that bad boy on leather armor, and then you basically guys yourself a holy armor, low key, somewhat, right? So because of that, I think I'll put it in C. It's also good with it just being in your backpack if you're trying to make a heat build as well. It's decent, and I'm not too sure if you could figure out a way. I'm not too sure if Lucky Pig could increase its chances, because I'm not too sure if Lucky Pig only affects the weapon or if it also affects the item socket. If you guys know, let me know, and that will help a lot. But the first gemstone I do want to talk about is the Amethyst one. Amethyst is kind of tricky for a number of reasons, right? Because I think with these gemstones, I'm just going to compare them 1 to 1. Because the Amethyst is only really good in this like last 2 stages, which is like when it's a not flawed, but it's like flawless and perfect. Those 2, because each gemstone has like, I want to say 6 rarities. I know there's chipped, there's flawed, there's regular, flawless, and perfect. So I believe it's just 5. It's just 5. Those are the 5 that I can remember at the top of my head. So I think it's just 5 rarities. If you get a chip amethyst, I don't think it's worth it. I don't know. I think the cooldowns and what you get from it is kind of poopy. I think if you could get like a regular or flawless or perfect one, then we're talking. Then we might be talking, right? And okay, gotcha. Dang, Kevin, you be you be playing. I didn't know you be playing this game, right? And I think it's most valuable. The amethyst gem is most valuable on armor socket, right? It's the most, because be able to reduce your opponent's healing is pretty nice, especially if you can get the perfect version of it, it's a no-brainer. Unfortunately, buying the perfect version is going to cost you 16 gold, but I think depending if you're getting annoyed by all the unhealing or just being out-healed by people, it could be worth it. You could also try to upgrade it, but even then that's kind of tricky and whatnot. Amethyst overall, I think I'll put it in the high C. It's not letting me. Okay, yeah. I think I put Amethyst in high C. Next, we have Emerald. Emerald is just all about being able to dish out poison, right? The chances to inflict poison is better on your weapon than on your armor. And then if you put in your backpack, you can use each poison that you inflict to gain more healing herbs. Again, I don't even think getting it at a flawed or even not flawed, like flawless. Even at flawless, you have to wait about like I want to say 7 seconds. Like the timing isn't worth it. The only thing that if you do get this, it's only valuable on your weapon, right? To inflict more poison. And as we'll get onto later, there might be other gems that are better on your weapon than this, right? The chances on the weapon slot though is pretty good. It's pretty good on the weapon slots, right? A lot better than the armor, and you get more value and more like less cooldown depending on how quickly your weapon attacks. It'll be better to place it on your weapon than in your backpack. I think we put it at the bottom of B. Yeah, we'll put Emerald at the bottom of B. I might even put it in C, honestly. Like at the end of the day, I might want like a flawless Emerald over this, low-key. Yeah, I think I just put I might put this in C as well. I might put this in C, right? Next we have Sapphire. Sapphire is all about stealing life. You can gain mana. It's a lot of crazy stuff that you can do with Sapphire. It's all about code and getting armor with Sapphire. Sapphire is kind of tricky. I think at the end of the day, it's best on your weapon, depending on how fast your weapon attacks. If you have a very slow weapon, you might want to put it in your backpack, but even then, at the slowest weapons, I'm not too sure. But Sapphire, I like me some Sapphire. Like whenever I'm going for a cold build, I'm glad that I'm using I have a Sapphire gem. I like it either on my weapon or in my backpack over my armor, because it's kind of hard to get mana to initiate that item effect when you place it on armor, unless you just have a lot of blueberries or mana orbs or even a mana thirst. Alright, nah. I think I'm gonna put Sapphire on A. Yeah, Sapphire. It's nice because you dish out cold and you can possibly get armor. And you can also attack your opponents directly. I forgot about that. You can attack opponents directly. Actually, screw that. That's S tier. Especially with all these armor fiends out here thinking that they're invincible with 500 armor. If you get like a flawless or a perfect Sapphire gem, hello, you're gonna make them look foolish. Yeah, Sapphire is actually S tier. I'm sorry for even thinking about putting in A tier. I'm stupid. I'm talking crazy. Next gem that we'll talk about is the Topaz. I'm not too sure how to pronounce it. Topaz. This gem, I think its value again is mainly on the weapon socket. I know for people who make builds that are designed to run out of stamina, you might see some value out of it on the armor socket, but the chances of you getting those values, like the chances of it activating on armor, I believe, aren't that hot either. So I think it's definitely going to be, I think the best places to put it would be on your weapon or just leaving it in your backpack. Very similar to the chances or like the placements for the Sapphire, where both of them are better either on your weapon or just in your backpack. Typically you probably will want it on your backpack or in your weapon, I should say, just because who doesn't like more speed attack? It's guaranteed boosting your weapon speed. Just be careful that you're not running out of stamina in the process of doing that. And then if you put in your backpack, you're guaranteed to regenerate stamina as well as getting more heat. Like before this update, I probably would have put the Topaz gem in D. But now seeing how there's a lot of ways to stack heat, I think Topaz might be B tier. I put the Topaz. I really hope I'm saying its name right. I put the Topaz in B tier. For real. And lastly, we have Ruby, which is all about stealing life and amplifying your healing. The ruby one might be one of the few gems that I think you wouldn't go wrong with putting it either on your weapon, on your armor socket, or even just in your backpack, in the empty slot of your backpack. You can see value from each one. Obviously, like the rest of these gems, it's better on your weapon. If I was a betting man, I think the only gemstones that are good on your armor will probably be the amethyst, burning coal, and the lump of coal. Those are the only 3 that I think will be best on your armor. But like I said, you can amplify your healing with ruby. I think ruby takes the cake at the top of S just because it's so much more versatile because you can just put it anywhere and you can gain its benefits, see its benefits, guaranteed benefits as well. Even though the benefits might be like not as great, but you're getting something out of it, you know? Like amplifying your healing is huge. Stealing life damage, maybe putting it in your backpack, you see the least amount of putting in your backpack is probably the least value that you'll get from it because it's a little bit low, but if you're able to speed it up, maybe it might be valuable. But yeah, I mean, just more life is in general is pretty good for the ruby gemstone. But yeah, this is my tier list. You guys let me know how y'all feel about it, and let me know what kind of tier list you guys wanted me to do next. Do you want me to do all recipes, all melee weapons, all ranged weapons, all pets? Ooh, we could even do one against Gooberts. I don't know. There's so many different types of tier lists that we can make for backpack battles and whatnot. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching. Till next time, y'all stay safe, and I'll see you later.